Now, over the last weeks, we have witnessed the insurmountable grief and rage of people across the country. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari and Rajkot to Silchar, people from all walks of life have taken to the streets to demand justice for the victim of the spine-chilling Kolkata rape and murder. Amidst this furor, several other such cases have also made headlines. Now, whether the sexual assault of the nursery students in Badlapur, the gang rape of a 14-year-old girl in Nagaon, and the rape and murder of a nurse in Uttarakhand. Amidst the outrage, we take a moment to examine how to make sure that such dastardly crimes can be prevented. NewsX has proposed a 6-point plan in this regard. We propose that the Indian Medical Association must launch India's largest study into sexual predation. A team of behavioral sciences unit of the FBI should be invited to India to share their findings and train the personnel. The study should be chaired by India's top psychologists, and the prison department should give access to convicted sexual predators to conduct the study. There should be all convicted sexual predators that should undergo a brain mapping study to identify neurological issues. Findings of the Indian study should be published within a given timeline, and updations should be made as and when deemed fit. Our proposal has been endorsed and lauded by several eminent personalities, including the West Bengal Governor C.V. Anand Bose, IMA President R.V. Ashokan, Kiran Bedi, the former Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, Advocate Seema Kushwaha, who is Nirbhaya's lawyer, Valerian Santos, the father of Keenan Santos, and Sonal Mansingh, Padma Vibhushan awardee and former Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament. Today, we have a lineup of eminent leaders who are in a position to ensure that such rapes and murders do not happen, and those who are the custodians of the security and safety of women in our country. First of all, with us is Rekha Sharma, who is the former chairperson of the National Commission for Women. Thank you so much for joining us. And NewsX has launched a campaign where we are inviting medical minds to discuss profiling the rapists. Would you be willing to extend your support to this campaign?
I think it is an amazing idea to talk about the mindset of the criminals and do a study on that. And I must congratulate for this to NewsX, because every time such kind of incident happens and we talk about the incident, and then after the incident we think that what will be the legal procedure and all that. But to control it and to control the incidents like that, we have to study the mindset of the criminals, and this is very, very important task which NewsX has taken over them.
Ms. Sharma, we have heard cases of rape and sexual assault involving our daughters of ages younger than 10. How important is it to understand the mentality of these monsters who commit such unthinkable crimes?
It is extremely important. Time and again I have talked about it, that mapping of the criminal mind is very important. How their brain functions, why they have started such kind of things in their life. Were they also treated like this in their childhood, or they have seen their family members to do that? What kind of upbringings they had? Everything I think we need to know, so that we raise our children in such a way that we don't have criminals in the society. See, the work of police or the legal agencies come after the incident happens. But to control the incident forever, we need to know the mindset, and the mapping of the criminals' minds is very, very important.
Rekha Sharma, have you ever had the chance to speak to any of such sexual predators, and can you tell us about how did you tackle that?
No, I haven't talked to any predator like this, because our work was with the victims or survivors. We never talked to the criminals, and even in the jails when we visited there, Yes, women criminals we have visited because our mandate was to meet women in the jails. So, accused or proclaimed criminals, I have met both kind of women and talked to them. But then when we go to the jails, we don't talk about the crime they commit, we talk about their welfare. So no, we haven't talked to them that why they have done this or why the crime happened. We only talked about the welfare of the people, women inside the jails.
Do you also feel that international behavioral experts from the FBI and other agencies from abroad can be roped in and brought to India to conduct such studies and train our police forces?
No, we don't need FBI or outsiders to come and study about it. Inside India also there are many experts who can be doing that. NIMHANS is a very good organization, and NIMHANS psychology experts can be part of this. There are many doctors I also have met who are working with the mentally challenged people. They can also be very good resource person for this.
Why do you think India has not conducted such a large scale study up until now? Keeping in mind there have been innumerable rape cases that are reported in our country on a regular basis.
Because nobody thought about it in India. I think we are very particular about our about sharing our data or any kind of personal thing to others, and somewhere I think the police also don't, or the judiciary also will not allow easily to do this mapping kind of thing. So even if the government would like to go ahead with this kind of study, there will be a long procedure to follow up, because we can't share such a kind of study with others. In India there is a mindset that we will not treat that person as a patient, we will treat him or her as a lifelong predator such kind of thing. I think we cannot target a person if he or she is mentally challenged or they have got problem mentally. So there is some kind of mindset that even in the family, if we find someone who is mentally ill, we always say pagal hai ya baat mat karo. So nobody would like to stamp a stamp like this on themselves. So taking yes from the person who जिसकी स्टडी करनी है उसका भी yes होना ज़रूरी है. तो मुझे लगता है वो भी डिफ़िकल्ट होगा इंडिया में. But yes, we can start a procedure. I think since we have started talking about it, and in one of the last podcast I talked about it at length, that yes, we should do this mapping, brain mapping it is called. We should do brain mapping of the predators, so that we know that which kind of persons they are who are committing such kind of heinous crime even with the children. So I think government should start, and maybe they are thinking of it, but I would also like to request that to the Home Ministry that we should start such a kind of study.
What, according to you, is the help that the National Commission for Women can provide to the Indian Medical Association and our ministry and even our agencies in conducting such studies into the psyche of sexual predators?
See, I'm not in NCW anymore, so you have to ask NCW now about it. I will not. Yeah, I was in, when I was there, I would have loved to help it about it, because I always took new challenges, and this is also a very interesting work. I can put in a word with someone in NCW, but I will not be able to answer on their behalf.
Do you feel that the findings and patterns that are discovered after the sexual predator study is conducted on each of these individuals, can these pointers not just be used for training law enforcement, but also spreading awareness amongst women?
Yes, that is very important. Yes, the law enforcement agencies will go through such kind of study, and it will be easier for them to understand the mindset of the predator, and they can also easily work on the cases. Also, women, if they know, they will be able to, firstly, they will be able to raise their children in a way that they should not go through that trauma, and secondly, they will be aware of the person who is committing such kind of crime, and can protect themselves, can be away from such kind of people.
Now, in your tenure as the National Commission for Women chairperson, while dealing with such cases, have you ever felt any lack of communication on the part of the law enforcement agencies?
No, I don't think there is lack of communication between police or anyone who is working and NCW. Since the time I joined in 9 years, slowly we have improved the communication between police and NCW, and by the time communication was very good. We were getting ATRs, action taken reports, on time. We were having meetings, regular meetings with the top police officials all over India. We were training police officials on gender sensitization, on the issues related to women. So we were working very closely with all the state police officials except West Bengal.
What are these issues, the problems, the challenges that you faced in fighting sexual crimes in West Bengal?
See, West Bengal communication is with the police is not good because they are afraid of the political bosses. They cannot even send FIR report to us without asking CM office. Whenever I went there, DG was not allowed to meet me. Once he said yes and met, and in between our meeting he got some call from CM office, and he hurriedly finished the meeting and just went out. So in West Bengal, police is under so much stress from political bosses that they are not even been able to work on the cases on their own, and that's how they don't come for the sunwais, they don't come for hearings in NCW. And when we go, in fact, we could not hold any Mahila Jan Sunwai in West Bengal because they never cooperated with NCW. So we could never have, in 9 years we could never have a Mahila Jan Sunwai.
Do you think anything has changed for the better for the safety and security of women since Nirbhaya case that took place in 2012?
Yes, the laws changed, especially on the juvenile justice. Things changed. Age came down from 18 to 16. People are aware, more aware of such kind of cases. Women are more aware of the laws. They have started coming out and complaining. There are more FIRs done by the police. Police all over, they are swiftly acting on these cases, but a big but, that beauty, that the mindset of people is not changing the way it should have changed after Nirbhaya, or even before that. Why Nirbhaya should happen, or anything, any such kind of things happen, if the mindset of people is good, if men respect women like a human being. I don't say that औरत है तो इसकी इज्जत करो, दूसरा इंसान है तो इसलिए इज्जत करो. So if they would have helped women to come out of that kind of mindset where women are also not complaining on these cases, I think things will change, would have been changed. But to change the mindset of society is the biggest task we all have, and it is a slow procedure, very slow procedure. Somewhere I think the media, not the media, but the internet, I can say, is playing a big role. The free and availability of internet and such kind of websites where even the children can go and see nudity or pornography, I think that is also playing a big role in the mindset of people.
Thank you, Rekha Sharma, for joining us and sharing your views on this very important subject, this campaign that we have taken, study of sexual predators. I also have with me Dr. Sharad Kumar Agarwal. He is the former president, Indian Medical Association. Thank you very much, Dr. Sharad, for joining me on the telecast. And once again, asking you, posing this question to you, that we on NewsX have launched this campaign when we are bringing about, inviting the most qualified medical minds, celebrities, public faces to discuss profiling of rapists. Would you be willing to extend your support to this campaign?
Yeah, see, IMA is always ready to provide any support, any kind of campaign which is in the good sense and good faith of the society. And as it is a very good initiative, so definitely we can be part of this, and we can help that percolating this message to the people within the doctors community and students. That way we can help.
Do you think such a scientific study will help us in building more accurate policies and laws to prevent rapes and sexual assaults in the long run?
See, all these studies are already existing, but see, further study, they can support this thing, but I don't think any study is going to stop these kind of mindset. Mindset change is basically improving our upbringing, providing the moral education from the schools, from 6th standard. I think it is more in the mindset than the study. Definitely they are going to help to take the decision, making the strategy, but I think it is more on the mindset and the other things.
The FBI has also conducted several of these studies which have shown great impact in understanding the motives and the psyche of criminals and then developing patterns. Do you think the FBI and other international agencies can be roped in, the law enforcement agencies that can be roped in and brought to India to train the law enforcement forces here?
It is a mental situation and an impulse, negative thoughts, and we need to sensitize. We are sensitizing. I am not saying that we are not sensitizing, but we need to more focus on the society, male as well as female, for sensitizing them for the moral ethics. Unless until we teach them, it will not going to improve. So, as I said, yes, any study or any recommendation which can help it, that is welcome, that should be welcome. But more is on the mind. And mind you cannot change by any study. Mind you have to, we do worship. We all are religious people. So, because since birth, since childhood, we seen that happening in our house and our nearby places. So it inculcate in our blood. Yes, this is the religion. This is how we worship. This is how we celebrate our festival. So the same way we have to teach that, and the sex education that should be started from at least adolescent age group.
Do you agree that the medical sciences such as the brain mapping of rapists can help build solutions in our fight against rape in our country?
Yes, that can help because it is absolutely objective approach. Na? We are only doing that who is convicted against in the rape case. So definitely it will help to understand what is the psyche and what is their mental status when they go for this kind of heinous crime.
What other solutions, Dr. Sharad, can the medical community provide in our fight against sexual assaults and rapes?
See, in these assault, the rape assaults, the most important, like doing mapping and moral science, moral teaching, that is one part. The investigation. That investigation should be proper so that the culprit should not be escaped. And for that, Indian Medical Association, we made a examination video movie and we released on International Women's Day last year. On 8th March, we released that video and we share it with the medical colleges also and the Child Welfare Department also, where we have directed the doctors practically that how to do the investigation of a rape victim and how to collect the sample, because it is very important to gather the clues, the sample, the evidence. Based on that, the culprit is going to be punished. And the biggest problem is that most of the small PSCs in village level, in rural area, the sitting doctor, they don't know how to, what is the right way of collecting the sample and preserving it properly. So IMA released that video on the last year when I was the national president, and it is very helpful because investigation, collection of the sample is very important to make that victim should not be escaped.
Thank you, Dr. Sharad, for joining us on the telecast and sharing your views, and thank you for showing wholehearted support to NewsX campaign on the study of sexual predators. I'm also being joined by Shazia Ilmi now, who's a national spokesperson of the BJP. Thank you, Shazia. And first question, of course, we have launched this campaign. We are inviting the most qualified minds, leaders, public faces to urge the Indian Medical Association to announce the world's largest study into psychology and the patterns the rapists follow. Would you be willing to extend your support to this campaign?
I completely and fully endorse this measure. I think NewsX is doing a great service to India, to womankind, and to the cause of violence, stopping of violence against women. I think it's really important and much needed. Thank you so much for this. I'm very much on board. I think it's important, and not just best minds in medicine, but psychologists, rape victims and survivors. They should also be a part of this study, and also those convicted criminals who have actually, who can actually reveal as to what prompts them towards this criminal activity.
We spoke to FBI researcher Dr. Anne Burgess, who has conducted such studies which have shown great impact in understanding the motives of criminals and develop patterns. Now, do you think those can be replicated and teams from FBI can be brought into India to train our doctors, to train our enforcement agencies?
They should be roped in. There is definitely a pattern, and in fact there have been a number of studies on linking rape with violence. So the other feminists and older feminists, like Susan Brown Miller, would say that rape is not an act of passion, it is an act of power. It is not about sex. So clearly it's not about passion. But there is definitely the element of sociopathy involved, that you get pleasure and derive sadistic pleasure out of raping a woman, violating her, with her saying no repeatedly, and with her feeling the hurt and pain and ignominy of it. So definitely it's a man has to be hardwired in a certain way that he is not just a sociopath, but he is also looking for some kind of sexual entitlement and has a proclivity towards violence. So if a woman were to say yes, or if he were to be in a consensual relationship, he would not be okay with it, because he gets off, he derives sexual gratification out of violence and the act of power, that he can control her, that he can subjugate her, that he can bully her, that he can humiliate her, that he can mutilate her, that he can shame her, that he can control her.
Do you think such a study can also help the government in building policies for protection of women?
Yes, I think we need to protect women, but we also need to look at how social conditioning impacts men and women in this country. How there is the relationship between the two sexes, so the gender equation, so to speak, and how that translates into a power equation between a man and a woman. The idea of consent, what does it mean? And how important it is to not just have higher conviction rates and better systems in place, but also ensure that there is prevention of something like this, which means better access to where police and policing is concerned, and not just that, also sorting out the minds of young boys and girls so that they understand that there is nothing passionate about violent sex or sex done without consent, which includes or entails violence.
Thank you, Shazia Ilmi, for joining us on the telecast and sharing your views and coming out wholeheartedly to support NewsX campaign of the study of sexual predators.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.